Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my last day off. It's my last day off. I'm going back to work, guys. But before I do so, I will be talking about the latest Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance for all y'all MFK fans out there, guys. And coincidentally, this is also an anniversary edition and a Harrods special release. And you guys know I love reviewing Harrods releases, guys. I got another one coming up from Initio, which is also a Harrods release. Can't wait to talk about that. But today I will be talking about this MFK, this latest MFK that is a Harrods exclusive, guys. Can't wait to tell you all about this. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, especially that we are headed towards 21,000 subscribers. I use all the revenue here to buy all these samples and reach out to other people to procure a lot of these fragrances, guys. So please continue all your support. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than the latest Maison Francis Kurkdjian release. This is none other than Reflets d'Ombre. Yes, Reflets d'Ombre, or Amber Reflection, guys. All right, Reflets d'Ombre. All right, I'm not the best at French pronunciation here, guys, but this fragrance really got me interested for a couple reasons. Number one is, of course, when it comes to this fragrance, ambre or amber is the spotlight note, guys. And I love ambery fragrances. All right, I mean, I should probably do a top 10 on this, but I do love amber fragrances, and Francis Kurkdjian is exceptional at making this stuff. I mean, in a sea of amber fragrances out there, a ton of amber fragrances out there, he's made a couple good ones. First is, of course, Grand Soir, which I do have a full bottle of. It is one of my favorite elegant nighttime fragrances. And of course, the second one, which is the second reason why I'm interested in this, is that this is apparently a revival of a discontinued exclusive Ciel de Gaume. Yes, Ciel de Gaume, which is another ambery masterpiece by Francis Kurkdjian. Now, Ciel de Gaume was an exclusive not to Harrods, but it was an exclusive to the Gaume shopping plaza, shopping center, department store of Russia. I believe Moscow, not really sure, but it was an exclusive to that, already discontinued. And the interesting thing about it is that the perfumer of that fragrance, Ciel de Gaume, is also the perfumer of Reflets d'Ombre. Okay, so there are some comparisons. Some people say that this is Ciel de Gaume. Some people say it's not. I cannot wait to give you guys my lowdown on this fragrance. Either way, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about the latest Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance, also a Harrods exclusive. This is none other than Reflets d'Ombre. Okay, now right here in the opening is where it's at. I loved this opening. Impactful, great first impressions opening. And this is something I like in fragrances, guys. I like fragrances that from the get-go give me a good first impression rather than later in the dry down. And this fragrance, Reflets d'Ombre, definitely does that. Now, on this fragrance, of course, on paper, it just says pink peppercorn as the one lone top note right here. But that is not what you get when you spray this fragrance. So in reality, when you spray this fragrance, the top notes are going to be your pink peppercorn, you're going to get amber, and you're also going to get jasmine. Okay, so it's going to be jasmine, amber, and pink peppercorn from the get-go. As expected, you are going to get amber right from the get-go. It's not going to wait till the dry down. This is sort of like a core fragrance with amber and labdanum being the strongest, beaming all the way up to the top, guys. And amber is what you will get. Now, what kind of amber will you get right here with this fragrance. The amber right here has the same, almost same style as Grand Soir and of course Ciel de Gum. The amber right here is your honeyed amber. However, the amber right here also does have some slightly animalic facets and is also very elegant, okay? It's a very exquisite amber. It's not your run-of-the-mill sweet honeyed amber. This one does have different facets to it, some animalic facets, also some dark and some light facets in this amber. And so that is something that I guess if you have Grand Soir, definitely it will feel familiar to you as an elegant type of amber. Now, the big difference here with Reflets d'Ambre versus other amber fragrances, guys, versus even Grand Soir, is that this opening does have a boost of jasmine, and I would say Hedione as well, to create a very uplifting style amber fragrance. The amber start is actually uplifting. This fragrance gives you the same elegant royal amber that you get in Grand Soir, in Ciel de Gum, however, with that boost of jasmine and Hedione. Oh man, I mean, the moment I wore this outside, I actually enjoyed it. Like daytime, outside, a little bit cool. I loved this intro right here. And that is why you'll hear feedback about this fragrance being light and airy. Well, that's because of that boost of jasmine and Hedione to add to that ambery accord. Now, to add to all of this, you also have pink peppercorn to add some spice into the mix. And I would say that the pink peppercorn, the spiciness of that, pulls this fragrance unisex, because without the pink peppercorn, I mean, some would say this could lean femme, and that's because it's going to be amber and jasmine together, again, with that uplifting boost. But because of the pink peppercorn, the spice coming in there, the spice component of this intro, I believe this goes unisex, guys. So you can actually enjoy some spiciness, some ambery comfort. But then, like I said, the big differentiator is the airiness, the nice mood-enhancing start, thanks to the jasmine and Hedione of this intro. Okay, now let's talk about the initial sillage and projection of this fragrance. Like I said, the jasmine and Hedione are boosters of this fragrance, and it does give off an aura scent initially that also has some lingering draw-in scent vibes. It's a draw-in scent as well because of the spiciness and the comfort of amber. But again, because you have a boost of jasmine and Hedione, you do get an airiness, you do get a centrale with this type of amber. Again, quite different from other ambery fragrances that are immediate draw-ins, immediate curve notes. This one right here does have a centrale, also mood enhancing, thanks to the jasmine and Hedione. I loved the sillage and projection of this, and it's not really super strong, so this is perfect for those elegant conservative people that kind of like want to slowly seduce the room by walking around with a centrale, a draw-in type of centrale. This is perfect. It's not going to kind of like invade other people's spaces, but it will slowly seduce the room. That's how I feel with the initial performance of Reflets d'Ambre. Okay, now before I head into the mid, let's do a comparison between this fragrance, Reflets d'Ambre, and Ciel de Gum, because there are people that are saying that basically Reflets d'Ambre is a revival of Ciel de Gum, basically with the new like formulations and with all the banned ingredients in perfumery, that this is something new. But here's the thing. Here's the big difference between Reflets and Ciel de Gum. Ciel de Gum does have a prominent cinnamon woods part of the fragrance bridging into the mid, which Reflets d'Ambre does not have, okay? So yes, you will get that intertwining amber and jasmine combination that Ciel de Gum has, but Ciel de Gum does have a lot more body. You can even say it's more masculine because of a prominent cinnamon woods part. And that is kind of like the fireplace embers of the fire part of Ciel de Gum that makes it thicker, gives it more body. And that is, to me, the big difference with Reflets d'Ambre. With Reflets, you still get the same amber jasmine smell. It smells almost the same, but there is no cinnamon woods part. Yes, there is pink peppercorn, but that is a spice component that just gives a little bit of spice into this, but it's not necessarily this fireplace dry sauna scenario that, in my opinion, Ciel de Gum does with the cinnamon and woods combination. Now, with that being said, even with those notes, the cinnamon and dry woods, the dry sauna effect being removed out of Reflets d'Ambre, it really doesn't take away from this fragrance. And again, the big difference is that this one here is airy, light, mood enhancing, and it is something that you can wear in the daytime. I actually super enjoyed wearing this every single time. And because it's kind of simple, it's like simple, elegant, I really feel like the mainstream crowd will enjoy this because it immediately gives you the satisfaction. It doesn't, kind of go through different note changes to give you what you want. You're going to get a beautiful amber, elegant amber with nice mood enhancing whiffs with some balancer spices, guys. Okay, so again, it's quite different from Ciel de Gum in that aspect, but still definitely amazing. Okay, now let's head into the mid of Reflets d'Ambre. Now on paper, guys, it only says jasmine and Hédione, and as we already know, the jasmine and Hédione are the big core players that create the uplifting, mood enhancing amber style intro of this fragrance. Now right here in the mid, guys, yes, you will still get amber, you will still get Hédione right here, some slight indolic sweet parts of this fragrance, and of course the amber is still going on. But to me, the big difference right here in the mid versus the intro is that it gets a lot more comforting. All right, so there is a powdery change here in the mid that I quite enjoy, and I'm not sure if it's the vanilla, the powderiness of the vanilla, or it's another layer of ambery changes right here where it gets powdery. But it does get powdery to me in the mid. Very, very comforting. And also you still will be getting some of that indolic goodness from the jasmine well blended into this elegant amber. So I would say that this is the comforting stage from hour 2 to hour 5, guys. All right, hour 2 to hour 5 is when you get this mid phase. Okay, so you could say that that's a settling in phase with the nice comforting powderiness, kind of like a cashmere sweater right there, but still it will be amber and jasmine / Hédione. Okay, now let's head into the dry down of this fragrance right here, Reflets d'Ambre. The dry down right here, guys, is actually weaker than the first and second parts. Okay, there's actually a huge performance drop once you get into the dry down. It kind of becomes this weaker dry down with whiffs here and there, guys. Okay, now on the dry down, you're gonna get amber still, you're gonna get labdanum, you're gonna get vanilla, and a mild, I would say mild patchouli right here, just to add some earthiness and tenacity right here into the dry down, guys. But definitely there's going to be a nice vanilla right here. It's going to be sweet, it's going to be ambery. With the labdanum too, it gets deeper, so it's kind of like a base amber right here with the labdanum. But again, the thing about this dry down was that, it became progressively weaker, actually weaker by the first and second parts. And I would say that this is because a lot of the notes in the dry down are core notes that were beaming in the top and the mid of this fragrance. Like I said, I felt like the vanilla was an early vanilla. The amber, started from first spray. A lot of these base notes were already performing the moment I sprayed this fragrance. So I guess that's the reason why this dry down was a little bit weaker. So I didn't care so much for the dry down, guys. It was your deeper, you could say darker, like labdanum amber combination with sweetness with patchouli, but it wasn't as prominent as the first two parts of this fragrance. And with that being said, guys, this fragrance, Reflets d'Ambre, will truly perform for you for up to 6 hours. I'm not saying that that's the longevity of this fragrance, but the true performing part with aura and lingering facets go up to 6 hours. All right. And that is a nice coverage, guys, again. And that doesn't take away from how awesome the fragrance is. Again, mood enhancing, part comforting, part spicy. It's pretty damn good, guys. And of course, more than anything, super duper elegant. And when it comes to the usage, guys, this is an elegant fragrance. I would say that this is an upscale grabber. I would use this the same way that I would use Ciel de Goum as well as Grand Soir, upscale grabbers right here. But the big differentiator, and that's what I was thinking, I was like, why would you release this during the spring? The big differentiator right here is that it can also be a cool spring nights or spring days fragrance, even with amber being the spotlight note right here. That's the interesting thing. And that made sense now why they released it at this point, because you can still use this. I mean, right now it's still cold outside. I can use this right now. And of course, spring dates, you can use this. It's elegant. It's a draw in. There's some spiciness. And more importantly, it's sweet and lovely, guys. All right. So it is a very usable fragrance. I would say Ciel de Goum, you can still use that. If you can procure that, you can still use that. But it's more of a fall winter fragrance. This is a lot more versatile in my opinion. And because a lot of the power is concentrated in the first part, I would say that this will definitely appeal to the mainstream who will get their nice uplifting ambery fix from the get-go with a strong coverage for 6 hours. Now let's talk about total performance right here, guys. For me, this fragrance went up to 10 hours. Okay, this is not a super long-lasting scent. 10 hours is quite okay. It became a skin scent, I would say at hour 7 to 10. And it's just like whiffs here and there of the labdanum. And again, I feel like this is because a lot of those notes already were performing in the beginning stages of this fragrance, guys. But nevertheless, nice coverage of that amber, up to 6 solid hours of consistently smelling that elegant amber, guys. Now, here's a big question. Is it worth it? Okay, the fragrance is $275 for 70 ml. In my opinion, if you are a collector or if you are an MFK aficionado, get it. Okay, no questions asked. Okay, the scent is actually super nice. Kind of reminded me of Ciel de Goum to a degree, but also because of the collectability of this fragrance, I would grab it because right now I believe Ciel de Goum, some people are selling it for 700, some crazy amount because of the rarity of Ciel de Goum, guys. So I would get it if you are a collector and if you haven't had an overload of ambery fragrances in your arsenal and you would like an upscale elegant grabber that actually can be used in the daytime or in cool days, then try this one definitely, guys. Okay, again, the versatility wins right here on Reflets d'Ambre, and I think that it's not that expensive for a Harrods exclusive for an MFK 275. It's not a 50 ml, it's a 70 or 75 ml. It's quite a lot, especially that you're probably not gonna use it like a grabber. And so having this fragrance as an upscale grabber staple plus a collectible perfume that you can display out there that might increase value over time if this gets discontinued, and the fact that it's a somewhat revival of Ciel de Goum, that makes it a nice buy, guys. Okay, I think it's a safe blind buy as well, because again, if you decide to resell it for whatever reason, people will buy this thing. All right, so I think it's full bottle worthy. That is my no hype review on the latest MFK. All right, Reflets d'Ambre. All right, what a beautiful amber scent released here by Harrods and MFK. Okay, let me know in the comments below what y'all think. If you've tried this fragrance or did you like Ciel de Goum better, let me know in the comments below. I really feel like you can own both, you know, and because of the rarity of Ciel de Goum, this is quite okay to own. But let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance side by side with Ciel de Goum if you've had the pleasure to smell that. All right, let me know in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate all your support on these videos. I am back to work, unfortunately, but I'll be back with a firestorm of really, really new and exclusive perfumes, guys. All right, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be crazy. Let me know in the comments what you want to hear, but definitely Porthole will be next, as well as other crazy perfumes that I have coming up. See you guys on the next video. God bless. Take care. Peace.